Hello, race fans. Welcome back to Freaky Fast Broadcasting as we're back here at the RSR Cup Series for the start of the round of 8, race number 1 here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Mustang Week 20th anniversary, Mustang Week 140. Should be some great action out here on the racetrack here tonight for this mile-and-a-half action here at the RSR Cup Series. They kick off this round. But first, let's give a shout out to all our sponsors who help make it happen here at the Evolution Racing. First, we want to give a shout out to Or Nissan Central, the leading Nissan dealership in Oklahoma City. You can go check out their website at www.ornissancentral.com. Next, we have Sheffield Graphics, the leading designer in sim racing paint schemes and liveries. It was founded by a Navy veteran, and a portion of every paint goes to the Military Foundation Folds of Honor. It's a great non-profit organization who gives sponsorship to the families of fallen soldiers and disabled veterans. Make sure to go check them out on Facebook under Sheffield Graphics. Next, we want to give a shout out to ButtKicker. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer 2 lets you feel every detail, from subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10 powered race car. By moving a physical mass instead of only air, the Gamer 2 provides instant, accurate, powerful race response, and it's all in perfectly sync with every game with no additional software required. So make sure you go to ButtKicker.com to check out their ButtKicker Gamer 2 or alongside their many other products, and you can use our promo code FreakyFast20 to get 20% off there of any purchase at their website so you can feel what you've been missing. Next, we want to give a shout to the McConey Setup Shop. The McConey Setup Shop is your home for iRacing setups and the official setup shop of the Richmond Raceway Esports team, building the number 46 and 90 in the Coca-Cola iRacing series for Jimmy Mullis and Zach Novak. With everything from legends to cup cars, we've got you covered. Dirt setups for late models, modifieds, and wing sprints are available as well. Coaching with professional drivers such as eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series champ Zach Novak, his teammate Jimmy Mullis, River Hayes, and more are also available. And remember, at the McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but they're your victories. You can head on over to www.mcconeysetupshop.com today, where you can use our promo code FFB10 to get 10% off of any setup there purchased at the McConey Setup Shop. Thank you to all the sponsors who helped make it happen here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting and the Evolution Racing League. It's been a pleasure, and we will now move on to the racing action as I am Zach Hall up in the booth tonight. Joined alongside me as always on these Tuesday nights is Brandon Colley, and we'll have Robert Moyer Jr. up in the production box running the cameras. Brandon, opening race of the round of 8. Very important stuff. We've seen David Edwards, our points leader in the ARCA series, lock himself in. Which driver do we think could have the biggest shot here tonight?
Well, the biggest shot to lock themselves in, I'd have to say Travis Everett. I mean, he's sitting on top of the board right now in practice, been very fast, and he is currently our points leader, tied with his teammate Curtis Preston, but only 2 points back is GT, another one of the Slide Job Racing teammates, and the spread from first place to 8th, only 10 points, and I mean, considering the 2 stages you get points for, plus your finishing position here at the RSR Cup Series, that 10 points is going to narrow up in a hurry just in Stage 1 alone. So we're going to see some pretty intense battling, I think, through these next 3 races for every single position, every single stage point, every single lap led, and absolutely those crucial wins to lock yourself into the next round.
It's going to be very crucial, like you said, to get those wins, and the 8 drivers coming in here with a chance to move on to the Final 4 with a win tonight is Travis Everett leading us in points. Curtis Preston, his teammate, there in the 2nd position. 3rd is going to be GT Arizari, also another driver from Slide Job Racing. 4th is going to be Ryan Bean, James Catrone, Nathan Campbell, Kevin Ruff, and Andrew Little are 8 drivers within shot of a championship here. And Brandon, I tell you, that's a strong 8 drivers. Winning tonight is going to be so critical. Only 10 points separating these 8 drivers. And with the stages we have in the Cup Series, unlike the ARCA Series, this, point swings in the Cup Series are gigantic. And I think qualifying is going to be a critical point that we've just moved into to get those opening Stage 1 points.
Absolutely. I mean, the leader in the points could change hands in Stage 1, then again in Stage 2, and then again at the end of the race. So, I mean, every single segment of this race matters a ton, and you've got to be consistent throughout it all as well. Try to net as many points as possible, especially in this opening race. It'd be nice to go ahead and win it and lock yourself in, but if something happens, some strategy plays out a little bit better than yours, you've got to have those points as a safety net to feel pretty comfortable going into the next 2 rounds without having that win.
It would be a great safety net for sure. As we're looking at Andrew Little, one of our playoff contenders here, in his qualifying time. Remember, we have 2 stages here at the RSR Cup Series. First one coming at lap 30. Second one coming at lap 60 tonight, 60% fuel load. I would believe that's plenty of fuel to do 30 laps here tonight, but 3 sets of tires in the pits. That's where the decisions are going to have to be made, because that final stint there, 80, you're not going to be able to do that on 1 tank. You're definitely going to have to pit. So those 3 tires are already allocated. Do we see someone play the tire lottery, as we call it? It's been called lately here, and try to have an extra set for that final stage.
Without a doubt, I think we're going to see somebody try it. Exactly who, hard to say, but I'm absolutely confident that somebody's going to decide to not take tires in this first stage, knowing how crucial these fresh tires are going to be. Having that extra set is going to be, especially if you get that late race caution. The worry then is going a lap down, because the difference between fresh and old tires is pretty significant. 30 laps, not that much, but when you're about a second off pace every single lap, you may just fall a lap down, and if you do, you've got to hope you're the lucky dog so you don't have to take the wave around for that stage 2 caution.
I think if you're going to do that, Brandon, I think you're going to have to plan from stage 1 on to save the tires for that second stage, because 60 laps on tires here, very, very tough to do. And like you said, the fall off is going to be so tremendous. To be able to stay on the lead lap, you're going to have a good bit of wear left on those tires to start that second stage. We'll see who does it, because I'm sure, like we said, somebody will try to pull that off, but I think a lot of drivers are going to be electing to take those tires just due to the amount of wear and trying to get the best stage points they possibly can. Is right now Hunter Hayward sitting on top of the board, looking to bring home the Sheffield Graphics pole award here as a Patron there in second, and Irizarry now in third.
Yeah, really good times out of the top 3 right now. I mean, even top 4 all the way to 7th. I mean, they're only separated by about 8 thousandths of a second between 1st to 7th place, and only another 2 thousandths back to Andrew Little in 9th. Ryan Bean with a great time coming up here now. Nathan Campbell storming to the top of the board, though, at 30.59. That was a burner lap for the 52.
Man, oh man, what a time for Nathan Campbell. One driver I was looking for possibly to sit on pole, Travis Everett. We've seen him sit on top of the board in practice. He's 14th, so not going the right way for himself right now, as we've had Nathan Campbell place himself up on the top of that board, and he's one of those top 8 drivers. He's been putting in some work this week, and that's one thing I see, Brandon. The guys that move on, they seem to put in the most work and preparation throughout the week, and they seem to perform when these playoffs start to happen. Look at that, though. The 12 of Craig Burns, one of the non-playoff contenders, he jumps up in there. So we have 2 non-playoff guys up there in the top 3.
Yeah, I mean, looking to play the spoiler here, going out, and you've got nothing to lose. You got the most leeway to take gambles, just trying to go for wins and spoil the party for everybody else. Take away those wins that are going to lock these guys into the next round for that championship race. So, you got Craig Burns and Hunter Hayward, like you said. Anthony Ludi, though, sitting in 6th right now, another one of those guys. Bob Fitzpatrick knocked out in the last round, looking really strong the last handful of weeks as well in 7th. These guys all looking to come up here and just steal wins away and go out here and race for nothing but wins, because there's no more points on the line for them.
No more points on the line, that's for sure. These drivers fighting for everything. I mean, we gotta think back also to the points there, because also the person in the 17th position will be getting a prize. So we'll have to look back at that there and get the points that situation. But man, at the moment though, it looks like that's going to be the end of our qualifying session. It looks like Nathan Campbell going to be our Sheffield Graphics pole setter here tonight, and that's, I believe, his first of the season. Congrats to him, as that's a tremendous effort from that 52 team. We'll bring our qualifying results up there. You see Nathan Campbell starting from the pole position. Alongside him will be Hunter Hayward in that 48 machine. Third is going to go to Craig Burns. Fourth is going to be James Catrone. Fifth is GT Irizarry. Sixth is going to be Tony Ludi. Seventh is going to be Bob Fitzpatrick. Eighth is going to go to Ryan Bean. Ninth, Curtis Preston. And rounding out our top 10 is going to be Casey Kuntz in the 31 machine.
Andrew Little in the 11th position. Calvin Ruff going to be starting 12th. Nolan Potter 13th. Stephen Baldwin Jr. 14th. Travis Everett 15th position. Anthony Yunez 16th. Chad Biesinger 17th. Brock Potter 18th position. Kevin Zabladil 19th. And Kevin Dowd running out your field in the 20th position.
And that is your starting lineup here tonight for the RSR Cup Series. Nathan Campbell from out of nowhere just storms to take the pole from Stealth Motorsports, and that team name fits it pretty well for him. But we'll go ahead and bring him on up here to the room and get a chat about that pole lap.
Hey Nathan, it's Brandon up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Well, man, first, congratulations on getting the Sheffield Graphics Pole Award here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. You stole that one, man. I thought for sure Hunter Hayward looked like he put down a burner lap, and then at the last second, you come in with an even hotter burner. What did that lap feel like, first of all?
Oh, I actually ran that same lap time in practice right before we switched over to qualifying. So I kind of felt like I had it dialed in there. I made a last-second steering ratio change, and that seemed to help me out. So just looking to hang on to it and try to get my first win of the year. That's definitely the goal tonight.
Yeah, I mean, battling for that final four for the championship race. You got a good starting spot here, round one, or race one of the final round. What do you think the strategy is going to be here? You think maybe don't take any tires for stage one, or do you feel like you got to play it safe?
No, I feel like I'm definitely, I don't really want to give my hand out away, but I feel like I'm going to take tires early in stage one, and honestly I think this race is going to go green just based off the last few weeks.
Well, man, we're looking forward to see what you guys can do out there, and hopefully you can keep that thing up front and nice and clean all night long. Get yourself some stage points and a good finishing position, man, and let you get back down there. Wish you the best of luck.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
And there is Nathan Campbell from Stealth Motorsports. Sometimes Discord just beats a little slow. I don't know. That was a little bit interesting. Sorry for the delay there. But, yeah, Nathan Campbell on that pole position. Great spot for him. I tell you what, it could be the winnings position there for him to start up front. Could we see him come out here and be a surprise winner from the beginning, get his first win? What a time it would be for him. But we'll see how it all plays out here at the RSR Cup Series. Thank you all for tuning in here tonight. As the pace car pulls in, green flag is off and away. And we're headed down to the line. Campbell, Hayward, great start for both drivers. Burns all over the back of the 52 as we head down to one.
Well, leaders side by side here. Look like maybe Campbell not getting the best start there. Hunter able to pull alongside, and we saw in the ARC race that outside lane able to pull a lot of really good speed. I'm sure the Cup car is going to be able to see a lot of the same here, but again, you're going to have to worry about those tires. These Cup cars, they are flying compared to those ARC cars. A lot more load on the tires. They have to manage it a lot better.
Looks like Hayward's going to take the lead out of 4. Good move for him. And that 48 machine Campbell slides back to second here. Burns on the outside now. Irizarry up to 4th. Looks like Fitzpatrick up into the 5th position as the field spreads out. Looks like Catrone slid back towards 2 positions back to 6th as Bean and Preston bow down the back area for 7th and 8th. Looks like drivers trying to get positions here early, Brandon, but we saw in the ARCA race the battling. It really led to guys burning their tires up. We do have stages here tonight, so you're not going to, if you lose time, you can make it back up in the next stage because you at least got a caution. But I tell you what, these drivers will burn their stuff up quickly if they overdrive these things.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to realize pretty immediately as we got 3 wide out of turn 2 here. James Catrone on the outside. Now we've got Fitzpatrick and Ryan Bean battling now for that 5th position. You've got to realize immediately, hey, I'm pushing too hard here. I'm going to have to push too hard to get by this guy. Ride around for a little bit. Try to find a little bit of grip. See if that guy's maybe pushing a little bit too hard. If you're patient and they burn their stuff up, you're absolutely going to gain that position a little later on. And you're going to have to be being very patient throughout the entire duration of this race just to make sure that you're not overstepping the limit of these tires. It's a little bit cooler. The track's got a little bit more grip than normal. But still, if you push too hard, get the air pressures up too high, you're not going to be able to turn. Everybody's going to be making tenths on you in lap time.
Ryan Bean there in the 25. You got Catrone behind him in the 38, who's dropped a few positions back to 7th from that 4th starting spot. But I tell you what I noticed from him, You know, usually he's a hard charger at the beginning of the runs, Brandon, but it seems like he's really backing the corners up and really trying to maybe save some tire here for this run. Maybe that's the plan for the 38. I tell you, if that's the case, he can be very strong in the long run too if he can just save some tire.
And I think that's another adjustment. You know, like you said, James Patron, normally one of those really aggressive drivers on the restarts and the fresh tires. Just realizing what track you're at, exactly how this place beats up tires, and it will really penalize guys that are, you know, over aggressive on those fresh tires. And James now tend to ride around in 7 for the moment. Like you said, just kind of save a little bit of tire here, letting the run come to him.
Yeah, at the moment, it looks like most drivers electing to stay single file. Looks like Craig Burns in the 3rd position. We're on a little bit of a different line there, a little bit up higher. You know, we definitely should see which lines come to fruition here. I mean, you know, we do have a little bit of an overcast condition, colder track temps here. I'm thinking the bottom may be the dominant way around, but as the run goes on, could someone make the high line work? I'm definitely interested in that.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to see here as the run starts to go on, the rubber starts to get laid down a little bit more. And also something we just missed, didn't bring out the caution, but we had Anthony Ludi and Stephen Baldwin get together on the backstretch, both of those cars spinning around. Baldwin now without a front flip on his car, able to keep it on the apron and avoid bringing out the yellow flag here early. But, you know, we'll see in some guys not necessarily going all the way up to that 3rd lane. Initially on the start, we saw guys taking it 3 wide to go up there, but mostly just that 2nd and the very bottom groove. And I think once the rubber starts to get laid down, more guys are going to be searching a little bit more for some extra grip, and that lane I think is going to widen out quite a bit. And I'm sure by the end of it, especially once the tires get worn down on a longer run, we're going to see some guys trying to go up there and see if there's a little bit more speed.
Yeah, you know, we see a lot of times where we talk about guys wanting to save the set of tires here. I'm interested to see some guys seem like they're running a little bit slower than they normally do at normal racetracks. I know Atlanta is a track in your mind that you go to. You say, oh, automatically I need to not go full bore, because if you do that, you're going to be struggling. So I think a lot of guys have that in mind, but I'm wondering if any of these guys are playing the strategy to say, I'm just going to back it down this first stage, give up the stage points, save my set of tires, and then if something happens, we're good to go. But as Nathan Campbell said, the other side of the story, if it stays green, that's not strategy is not going to work out too well.
Yeah, it really will not. You kind of need a caution to be able to utilize that fresh set of tires. I mean, hitting under green to try to take them toward the end of the race, you're just not going to be able to make up a full lap and get back to the lead here and charge back around everybody. So you're going to be needing a little bit of luck and needing a caution to help your strategy along. And I normally say, you know, you don't want to have a strategy that relies on getting a caution, especially when you're driving around, you know, the guys that you race with each and every week, knowing how clean and capable all of them are, and that they don't make those mistakes very often that result in cautions. But we've seen it work quite often in this league that guys, they take that set, and because of the way the stage cautions work out, they don't get penalized too hard for it. Yeah, they leave a set in the pits, but they don't really lose too much track position, and they don't end up going a lap down for it. And it kind of works out for them that way.
Well, this is interesting. RSR has took over the 2nd position. You can see, looking back at 59 and Travis Everett, he's not really got that many positions. 0-4 from his starting position. Fastest man in practice. Figure he was going to have to drive up farther. Maybe he is electing to save those tires. That's my question, because we are not even halfway yet. And if you start to dig and you save a bunch of tires, you can go really, really fast here by saving some tires. So we'll see what happens. Do we have comers and goers? I'm sure that's a possibility. As you see 59 of Everett going around the outside of Catrone, looking to battle by Kevin Ruff, also in the 12, 2 other players. I'm telling you also, Brandon, they're moving around the racetrack now. Guys are starting to move up so quick, and this thing might get pretty wide here in a little bit the way it's looking.
Yeah, I imagine also not only the tires starting to give up just a little bit, but also guys searching for some clean air. We talk about how bad the dirty air really affects that trailing car, especially in these cup cars. And with how many lanes are available to you here at Atlanta, it's very viable to just change up your lane a little bit higher, a little bit lower, just trying to keep some type of clean air on the nose of your race car. And you see Curtis Preston now in the 7th position, all the way up there almost into that 3rd lane, trying to generate a run here to go to the inside of Ryan Bean.
Yeah, Preston looks like he was definitely saving a good bit of tire there in that 29 as he's starting to surge forward past Nathan Campbell in the 52. You see Bean there slide up the racetrack just a little bit. That's going to let Preston now. He clears Campbell, and he's up to the 5th position now. So that's 2 positions in 1 lap for Preston. That was a great lap for him. Way to go forward.
Well, looking at the times coming in here, Bob Fitzpatrick in the 3 up to 2nd place now, battling with GT Rosario. Fastest car on the racetrack, last lap by a full 1/10 of a second. So the 3 saved just a little bit early on here, trying to make that charge to get by into the 2nd position. Problem is, you got to wonder if he's burning up his stuff making these passes, because Hunter Hayward's starting to check out just a little bit.
Yeah, Hayward has opened the gap up here on this lap right here, especially. I mean, almost 6/10 of a second back he built. Now almost up to a 2nd gap for him as the battle for 2nd continues with Fitzpatrick and Irizarry. But here's the battle for the 6th position. Here comes Everett. He's past Bean and Ruff. He's going to get a run. Does he take it 3 wide? Lex not to. Sticks there with Little. Gives him a little bump, though. That's going to give him a little shove. But I mean, Everett there just trying to help Little by. But he's going to back out of that situation. Little gets by. Now he goes for Nathan Campbell. What great battle we're having here in Atlanta. This track is really wide out.
That was a very scary moment for 4 of our 8 playoff drivers right here, all running right around each other. Yeah, a little bit of a wiggle there right in front of them. Could have been disastrous for half of our playoff field, but like you said, Everett, seasoned veteran here, realizing what was going on, backs out of it and tries to set up another attempt at a pass here on Campbell. Still working him over, still trying to make use of that little bit of saved tires that he has. Should be able to complete the pass going into turn 1. Actually gets clear now. Looks like Ryan Bean going to go ahead and try to follow the 59 on by.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Brandon, that was actually 5 of them because Kevin Rupp doesn't have the banner there on the 112 machine. But there was 5 playoff drivers right there. That could have been a disastrous moment. And Control was not that far behind. So really, other than Irizarry and Preston, a lot of our playoff guys there bundled up together at the moment, man. So this is some great action here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. See, Control up the racetrack very high. I mean, they are searching for everything, and that's what I want to see at this racetrack. When it's just right around the bottom, that's when this track can be kind of bland. When these guys are all over this place searching for anything that can grip, this is when this track produces the great shows.
And it's interesting to me to see guys really trying that 3rd lane through turns 3 and 4. I mean, traditionally, that's not a place you're going to see people running to try to find speed. That 2nd groove is about the highest you're going to go, maybe dipping your right sides just over the top of that 3rd seam, or the 2nd seam there, excuse me, all the way up there close to the wall. Kind of doesn't really generate too much of a run off the corner as it does out of turn 2. And we'll have to see if that starts to benefit Catrone, really being the only driver I'm seeing utilize that line as the run starts to go on here. But certainly through 1 and 2, there's a lot of guys right in that extreme high lane right up against the wall.
Yeah, look at lap times too, Brandon. It's definitely getting closer between the top guys. Hayward's actually moved up now to the top lane, and the leaders closed it big time, or 2nd and 3rd they're closing it big time with Fitzpatrick, Irizarry, now Preston to the outside of Irizarry in the 14 machine. That 29 definitely surging forward also.
Yeah, I think, again, it's something we've seen out of Hunter Hayward, where he will go out and put out really good laps in the short run, and then kind of fades to the mid-run. Then he starts to pick it back up a little bit later on. It's a bit hit or miss depending on stage lengths and such like that, but 2nd, 3rd, 4th, starting to reel him in now. Last time by, at least 2/10 or more quicker for everybody behind him than the leader right now. I'll have to see what it is this time across the line, as the gap has kind of stabilized a little bit between himself and Bob Fitzpatrick, but Fitzpatrick a 10th quicker, but the gap has, or the times, excuse me, have kind of stabilized between Hayward, Preston, and Irizarry.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you what, the outside line is getting better and better as the run goes on. You see the run here from Fitzpatrick. Hunter Hayward cannot give up the top. He's got to stick up there and take the air away, because that bottom lane, it's quick, but it's just not got the drive down the straightaway that they need. And now, side by side, battling for this lead. 2 drivers not in the next round. Bob Fitzpatrick and Hayward battling for this lead. Both drivers knocked out in the last round with 2 drivers in this round directly behind them.
Yeah, I'm very amazed at how well Bob Fitzpatrick is able to keep up the speed with Hunter Hayward running that middle to low line here. And I think, again, that third lane in 3 and 4, excuse me, it's just not quite good enough. I think you need to be in the second lane right now.
Yeah, and it's staying side by side, but they're going to come up with Stephen Baldwin here. He's going to go to the bottom in that 18 machine. We're going to be coming near the end of the stage. He's trying to hang on to this. Here comes Hunter Hayward down the backstretch. He's going to block the top, though. Where's Hayward go? He goes low down to the inside. Oh, man. This is getting dicey here between the leaders and a lap car on the 18. This is going to be interesting to see how it plays out here as they exit off of 4. Hayward holds on to what he can call the lead now, giving the draft down to that 14, trying to keep them side by side. If he can play this right, he can keep these guys right behind him.
And something I'm noticing, it seems like that outside lane here, talk about how the banking falls away in turn 2 before the corner really ends. And last time by, Hunter Hayward and Curtis Preston just about caught a piece of the turn 2 wall on the exit there with how much those cars are pushing on the exit.
Everybody's searching for some type of grip. Here comes Preston on the bottom in the 29. He's got a lot of momentum. He has got to have some of the best grip right now because he's able to go right to the bottom, use that to his advantage here. Now goes directly back to the bottom. Can Fitzpatrick make it work? You know, Hayward really slowed through the center, but does seem to get a good exit off.
Yeah, I think maybe having to slow down just a little bit too much in the center. He seems like he's driving it in pretty far on the high side. Oh, no.
The 59 is around the back straight. No front end for him. Bad start for our race, or our pulse, or really not our pulse setter, our points leader, as the caution is going to come out here, brought to you by Ordy South Central. First one of the night, and I believe this may bring us to the end of the stage.
Oh. Little bit of contact. Looks like Craig Burns caught the wall coming out of turn 2 and just bounced down into the right rear of Travis Everett there. That is horribly unlucky for the 59. Like Zach said, our points leader here.
Yeah, back here on the replay, and he right after this wreck just, oh yeah, Burns just getting into the quarter panel there. That's going to send the 59 down the racetrack. Ryan Bean barely escaping, hard collision into the inside wall here. That's going to hurt that front end. And as Everett gets it back going and turned around, there's going to be a car here you'll see coming on the racetrack that's going to pass pretty close, and that's what's going to bring out our first caution of the race, and I believe that's going to end our stage too.
Yeah, they have said that this is going to be the stage break, so Hunter Hayward able to hold on here to get the stage 1 victory.
Hunter Hayward getting those 10 bonus points for himself, not in the playoff hunt anymore in that 48 machine, but still out there looking to get race wins as he comes off a pit road here. Looks like he'll win the race there off a pit road.
Well, looking at the pit times.
No tires.
Yep, no tires for Hayward, Preston, or GT. No tires for Nolan Potter, Anthony Yunez, Chad Biesinger not taking tires as well. So first car on fresh tires is going to be the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick.
Man, oh man, and Hayward is really done a fantastic job to win that stage there. It was going to be close though. Without that caution, he definitely needed a little bit of help there. But as they've already came off of pit road, we'll go ahead and bring up our stage 1 winner. As I believe we're having a little bit of issues here. As our thing is going through the replays of incidents right now, so bear with us as it shows the replay. But we'll go ahead and bring down Hunter Hayward here to get a chat with him about the stage 1 win.
Hey, Hunter Hayward, Brandon in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, man, great stage 1 there. Had us worried at the end of that stage. Looked like your tires gave up just a little bit. Noticed it looked like you guys may have found something in that 3rd lane there, but some guys may have had something for you in the middle. You know, where do you think the real speed is out here on the racetrack right now?
Well, that's tough to say. You know, early run, it's definitely more painting that white line bottom groove. Mid run, you can run still bottom to middle of the track, and then late run, like you saw, all of us moved up towards that wall to get the best run. On the exits, yeah, that kind of gets sketchy. I mean, I definitely had more in the tank of my tires, but I was thinking bigger picture since I didn't take tires for this upcoming stage. So I was just trying to hold them off as much as I can without killing my tires. But man, yeah, that did get sketchy between me and the 3 in that lap car. But thankfully, we all made it out in one piece. And overall, yeah, that was a pretty fun stage.
Well, like you said, didn't take tires, and a whole host of other cars not taking tires. We'll have to see how this works out for you guys, and hopefully you can keep it clean and keep that good track position. Rebound for later in the race, Bud. We'll let you get back up to your team room and get ready to go back green here. Wish you the best of luck.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, that was Hunter Hayward, your stage 1 winner. He'll be the race leader here. But I tell you what, the top 3 not taking tires, Brandon, they're not going to be our race leaders for long.
I give it one set of corners. Especially Bob Fitzpatrick going to be starting on the outside here. He's going to be able to rock it around these guys. Maybe not turn 1. Turn 1, they're going to be able to carry pretty good speed, but definitely through 3 and 4, Fitzpatrick going to be setting up a good run here to take the lead.
Yeah, these top 3 are going to have to watch for wheel spin. Also, this track, very notorious for having terrible traction right in the tribal.
Especially if you were on the inside on the restart. For whatever reason, that inside lane on the restarts, it lights them up really bad. We're going to be watching very closely to see if somebody loops it here in these first 3 positions.
This is going to be fun to watch back after the end of stage 1 here. Hunter Hayward, our race leader, stage 1 winner. Pace car is in, and he's off and away. But I tell you what, look, the wheel spin, Brandon. I told you these guys are going to have terrible wheel spin, and he lit the rear tires up. Luckily, did not have any other situation because I thought he was going dead right to the wall.
Yeah, I've seen that in quite a few races here in my time, been a victim of it, and that was extremely lucky. He was able to recognize it as early as he did, trying to put the power down. But honestly, what helped him is GT and Curtis both looked to have spun their tires a little bit as well, so he's able to hold on to the lead for the time being. But now Curtis Preston looking to the inside. Bob Fitzpatrick right behind him.
It's like Preston going to take the lead off of 4. What a power move for that 29 machine, as he's going to take that lead. Here comes Fitzpatrick in the 3. He's going to have the new tires to his advantage. He's going to sail around this bottom here as these tires get up in heat, and these new tires can become a real advantage. Look at Casey Kuntz in the 31. He's up to the 3rd position. He's going to be looking to take 2nd here soon.
Yeah, Casey Kuntz and I believe Kavner up in the 112, all on fresh tires. And look at the entry and closing right there for the 31 and the 112 to the 29 on the older tires. Now Kevin Ruff looking to the inside of the 31. Brian Bean following suit as well on the pressure tires here, trying to chase down Fitzpatrick, not let him get too far away.
33 laps in. Bob Fitzpatrick now our new leader in this race as stage 2's took a turn. We've had 3 drivers, or I'm not sure if there's any other drivers that took no tires, but we've had a few drivers not take tires there in the stage to save a set for some point. But like you said, if this stays clean now, Brandon, that's not really gonna matter. They're just giving up track position.
Well, they're giving up track position for this stage here, but more importantly for a lot of these guys, stage points. They're going to look to fall outside of the top 10 for stage 2 here, and this is just a strategy that goes to play for the win. You've got that set in the bank for lane caution that you can use to your advantage over the rest of the field, so you're giving up the stage points here in stage 2 to try to secure the win. And if you get that win, you move on, these stage points don't matter.
Yeah, we could have a spoiler. You know, we talk about all the time, there's 3 spots to be there for winning. Oh man, we just went on board with Andrew Little. That was a scary moment for the 68 machine as he rode on board there. He might have to get him a new fire suit after that moment, because that was very, very sketchy. And he's a playoff contender, same with Brian Bean there. That could have been dire to their playoff run here, as right now Kevin Ruff up the 2nd. He's in the playoff contender. It's just playoff guys getting some points here, Brandon, but we talk about it. If Fitzpatrick or Hayward or someone that's not in this round wins, that opens up another point slot for someone to get through. If a guy wins multiple times in this round, that opens up another point slot. So points, I still think, could be the way into this Final Four.
I think you have to go in with the mindset that points are going to be the way that you make it into the Final Four. You just can't rely on wins. I mean, we've seen it all season. Wins are hard to come by, and sometimes it just doesn't click right. And we saw, you know, guys like GT Irizarry, that he went the whole season and was close, so close, and just could not get those wins. And then when he got one, he got multiple. And ever since then, it's kind of lulled back to about the same, where he's had the speed but not quite been in the position to get those wins. So you've got to bank on the points. You never know when that win's going to come.
Yeah, you can never bank on a win, man. You're exactly right, man. It's just one of those things that I think the driver that goes out in points is going to be in the best position to win a race, possibly also. So think about the points, then the win will come maybe after that. I think that's the way to go, and I think a few drivers are electing to do that. We can see, and a few drivers electing to say, we want that extra set of tires to possibly go out and win this race if it comes down to it, and maybe they feel confident. I mean, Curtis Preston, we've seen Curtis Preston, GT Irizarry, both those drivers use this strategy and give up track position and then somehow be back in position by the end of the race.
Absolutely, and like I said, you're going to give up some stage points here too with this strategy, but it generally results in a very good finishing position, so you kind of make some of that back, especially because it's resulted in wins for some of these guys pulling on this strategy in the past. I mean, it comes down to a lot of luck as well. Like you said, this strategy relies entirely on getting a caution at the optimal time toward the end of the race. But so far, I mean, we've had the two incidents, one resulting in a caution, but for all intents and purposes, that caution was the stage caution anyway.
You're very right about that. I mean, it came right at the stage, so it really didn't have a big effect too much on the overall strategy side of things, other than guys doing what they wanted to do for this strategy. So at the moment, looking at the 4 machine of Brock Potter, he's in 7th. Yes, he's got Curtis Preston on the old tires there behind him a couple seconds. And, you know, at some point, I do imagine some of these guys, the tires will start to even out and they possibly could come back forward. We'll have to see about that, though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be about halfway through this stage. I think another 5-10 laps or so, we're going to start to see the times even out a lot more closely, and not going to be too much risk for these guys to fall a lap down. I mean, especially considering how cool the track is. If it was a really hot, slick track, you'd be pretty worried about it. You wouldn't be able to save too much tire while keeping pace like these guys did in the first stage here, but cooler track, able to take a lot better care of the tires, keep a lot more pace in them later on. So I think it's mostly where they're going to shuffle out once everybody comes down pit road for stage 2. How much track position are they going to be giving up for the strategy, and how much are they going to have to charge forward here? Because, again, another part of the strategy, you get put back in the pack. And that's where the danger is. We've seen guys win on this strategy, but we've also seen guys get caught up in a mess, not of their making, just putting themselves back in the pack like this.
The most dangerous spot, that's for sure, right in the middle of the Hornet's Nest, as I like to call it. You can see Hunter Hayward, GTRs, both these drivers elected to be back here. But from what I'm seeing, a lot of drivers already electing to go up high earlier than the run than what we've seen earlier. This, you know, the high side, it can be a very special line to use. It can be very quick, but it also has some very ill side effects also with some tire wear. I mean, they put rubber up there. The rubber, once they lay down, getting run up there, it will help. But I still always worry about running that high line about the tires.
You have to understand how to drive the line to take really good care of your tires. You can't just sail it in there 110% each and every time because it'll stick. If you do that, you're not going to have any tires left, especially when there's not really any rubber laid down there because most people are running that mid to bottom lane. But like you said, it does work. It's a very good defensive lane for sure, especially when the tires get worn in. I think ideally you want to be a little bit higher on the track, able to carry the momentum, because guys are going to have a hard time making that center rotation that you need to get a good exit on the low line or even in the middle. So defensively, it's a really good place to be, but you got to be able to manage your tires to be able to carry the speed that you need to defend. Ooh, it was a big checkup here for James Catrone and GT. I think that was also Nolan Potter. A big moment for him as well in that checkup back here for about the 11th through 14th position, somewhere in there.
Yeah, we were just watching them, man. Ryan Bean, Andrew Little, and Kevin Ruff battled up. Now back here. Look at Catrone all over the back of Irizarry. Remember Catrone, I believe he's on the same strategy as Hayward, Irizarry, and Preston. He was very much running slower at the beginning of that last stage. I think it was all a plan from this 30 guy. I think he's trying to set up for big picture here with this.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think you nailed the call when you said that he might have been saving tires just to try to pull off this type of strategy, and we saw a number of guys do it. And I mean, the one thing is, it seems like a lot of the playoff drivers, other than Andrew Little and Ryan Bean, I think, are, well, Nathan Campbell as well. I believe he's on the pressure tires. So just over half of the guys are on this no tire strategy for the end of stage 1. Now, if you're one of the guys that took tires here, you're hoping for the last half of this race, after stage 2, there is no caution, because you are gaining a huge advantage on the rest of the field. If you get a caution, you're going to be on the back foot. I mean, that is 5 guys that you're trying to battle for points that are going to have a clear advantage over you, and you're going to be struggling and trying to outpace them for the next 2 races just off of this strategy alone.
I can tell you one thing. Curtis Preston has got tremendous pace on these old tires. I mean, this man has drove up to the 8th position in 32.83. I mean, looking back at Hayward on the same strategy, 33.25, teammate 33.47. So right now, Preston is in a whole nother zip code when it comes to long run pace. I mean, he's only a couple tenths, about 4. Really, he's matching 2nd, 3rd place, 4th place times right now on these 48 old lap tires. I mean, if we get a long run at some point during that final stage and this thing stays green, that 29 might not have an issue with track position.
No, and I'm noticing differences in line. Curtis Preston running the high side in 3 and 4, but going down to the bottom. This time, it looks like he's going to be running a little bit higher, but then sweeps a late apex out of turn 4. Whereas Hunter Hayward directly behind him, the next car on this strategy, he's committed to the higher line on both ends of the racetrack here, and I think that's what's making the difference. Like I said, it doesn't seem like the high side in 3 and 4 is really that optimal. You need to be running a lot lower than that.
We're looking through here, Nathan Campbell battling with the 31 of Casey Coots for that 5th position at the moment. And that's going to be critical stage points for Nathan Campbell, our pole setter. I mean, Campbell had great time in qualifying. The race pace overall just hasn't been there tonight. Just been somewhat of a top 5 to top 10 car. But I think that's going to be a solid enough run where he can get some good points.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I don't know how friendly a lot of these, different guys are amongst different teams. But if I'm Campbell and I've got a pretty good relationship with Casey there, I'm saying, hey, man, do you mind pulling over here? If you're within reach of me for this next stage, that 1 extra bonus point, it's not going to help you any, but it's going to help me a ton.
Well, looking right now, one of the biggest drivers to get knocked out of everything is that number 59, Travis Everett. Just unfortunate, just an unfortunate incident there with him and getting the front end knocked off on that 59 machine. Right now, 17th, 1 lap down, and Craig Burns, I believe, is not too far behind to be able to take that lucky dog away from him here in the next 8 laps. So doesn't look that well for Travis Everett to start off the night, and not going to get stage points in stage 1, and then not going to get stage points in stage 2 and get a not great finish. He could go from all the way in that points lead to all the way dead last in the points and be looking to have to really have a good next 2 races. But I tell you what, at least he had somewhat of a margin to start off with his teammate Travis Everett battling from the 30 Catrone. But man, the big thing for me coming into this round, we had the 3 SJR drivers, slide job racing guys, and I'd say they've definitely been, I'd say, the top 3 cars throughout this whole entire season, the cars to beat week in and week out. And I was wondering who was gonna try to knock one of these guys out of that Final Four. It's not a given for those guys. They've been top 3 up there all season long, but in this playoff format, it's anybody's race in playoffs to lose. So you gotta do everything you can. Who's gonna keep 1 or 2 or all 3 out? I mean, it's very possible that happens. I mean, it's possible all 3 get through. So I'm interested to see how that all shakes out, because they've definitely been very strong throughout the whole entire season, but a lot of drivers have been up in their game at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of the beast of the knockout playoff format. I mean, you've got to be consistent, but really it comes down to consistency through a string of 3 races at a time once you get the playoff time. I mean, the 4th race, that's when it all culminates, but through all the rounds, it's just consistency, 3 races at a time, and 1 bad race in those 3 races could completely kill your season.
they're looking still at this battle. GT and Control have been battling this whole entire time. And the thing is, they're catching up to Hayward on the same strategy, so it's definitely getting tight between those drivers on the old tires there. Late going here in the second stage. Remember, we're trying to get to lap 60 for the end of this stage. And then we'll have 80 laps down to the very end for these drivers to battle it out here at the Speedway.
And what this is showing me here is that Hunter Hayward not having great long run pace, or maybe just abused the tires too much in that first run. Because everybody that's on the same strategy as him is starting to really blow his doors off here and show a lot better pace on these older tires. Curtis Preston ahead of him, stretched way out. I mean, he is long gone from these guys right here. But they're looking to take over now. That 11th place from Hayward, not going to be getting into stage point range. Is the 10th place car quite a bit ahead of them here, but just trying to get that track position overall, because these guys are going to be cycling around to be the freshest tires, or excuse me, not the freshest tires, but they want to have better track position than everybody else on this same strategy here. So when something does cycle around, if they get that caution, they're coming out the first car on the freshest tires having the hugest advantage.
Yeah, it's definitely not looked the greatest for that 48 as he started to slip backwards here in the late going of this stage. But Bob Fitzpatrick still holding on to a 2.9 second gap back to the 25 of Ryan Bean at the moment. And just looking at lap times throughout the field, a lot of guys starting to even out and run pretty similar lap times. A good little battle going on right now is actually Casey Coons and Calvin Ruff. Casey Coons trying to take that fourth position from Calvin. What a run for Casey tonight in that 31 machine. He is really roared up through the field, up 5 spots.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, Casey has turned on the burners, now passing Calvin Ruff for the 4th position. It wasn't too long ago we were talking about him making that pass on Campbell back there, and now Campbell is miles behind these two here. It looks like Casey gonna just run out of time to go chase down the top 3 here, but having a really good run.
And, you know, that's got to feel very good. The most important time of the season to have one of your best runs. And not in the playoffs right now, but I tell you what, this is when guys perform their best, and you're beating a lot of strong contenders right now. So that 31's got to definitely be proud of that for tonight. As Fitzpatrick, he's going to be crossing the line this time to get the white flag for stage number 2. One final time for him. He's got a little over a 3-second gap back to Andrew Little and Ryan Bean, who are battling for that second spot. This is going to be critical points for both those drivers in the playoffs, trying to get the most stage points of anybody here. Little clears Bean off a 2, but it's
little bumps.
rear end, and Little saves it, but Bean into the inside wall, and that is unfortunate for Ryan Bean, but I think he'll be able to hold on to 4th, maybe 5th here down to the end of this stage.
Going to be getting a decent bit of stage points here. Obviously not the ones that he liked to. Not Ryan Bean, not really happy with Little, but can't really fault Little for what happened there, having to check up on the exit to make sure he didn't get into the wall there. Just a really unfortunate racing deal. Ryan Bean going to have some work to do on that machine now to get the pace into it, make sure he gets all the wrinkles ironed out. But Andrew Little as well having a little bit of damage on the rear of that 68 machine.
What an end to stage number 2 with Bob Fitzpatrick not in the round of 8, but out here doing very great in that 3 machine, showing again why he was a contender in these playoffs each and every week, and just unfortunately came up a little bit short to move on to this round. As all the field cycles through, looks like we'll get some pit stops, then we'll have a chat with Fitzpatrick, but now we're going to head into the final stage, Brandon. Everybody's going to be on even footing here, at least for tires. But the other drivers who didn't take one this stage will at least have that one extra set. These other drivers taking now will be taking their last set for tonight.
Yeah,
my bad. Next to last. There's one more. There's 2 for the other drivers. I got that all wrong.
the hairy part of this race for these guys on the no tire strategy last stage, it's out of the way. Now it's straightforward. Everybody back on even footing. Now it's just playing out this long run, hoping that they get the caution that they need right at the right time, and hoping that they've got good track position when that time comes, if it comes. But now it's just straight up, heads up, pace for pace on fresh tires.
In their pit boxes this time, Cannot make any mistakes. Do not slide through. Get any damage fixed that you need. Get 4 fresh tires and fuel. And send yourself back out. I tell you what, I'm going to be interested to watch these drivers who didn't take tires try to charge their way back up through to get their track position back. Because, man, that is it's going to be tough to do. But I think the drivers are very capable of doing that. And the racing we've seen, this track is very racy.
Oh, absolutely. Looking at the pit stops, there were a couple mistakes. Looked like GT slid through his box. Same with Ryan Bean in the 25. Made a little slide through his pit box. He's still sitting on pit road now, getting that 25 worked on, getting the damage fixed. But we'll have to see how this all shakes out now for the final stint of this race. This is going to be fun.
That it will be. Let's go ahead and bring up our stage 1 winner, Bob Fitzpatrick from Clutch Motorsports, to hear what he has to say about winning that stage.
Bob Fitzpatrick running up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. How's it going?
Well, man, not as good as it's going for you right now, getting the stage 2 victory here. It looked like you guys had the rest of the field covered on the same strategy as you, just absolutely dusting everybody on your same tire strategy. You know, how hard was the call for you during stage 1 there to take this set of tires and not go with the rest of the field and save a set?
Well, I kind of knew that Hunter, GT, and Curtis were going to not take tires, so I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to have some fun with it. See what I can do here. I mean, if the stage goes green, you never know. That the extra set might not work, might not work.
Well, you set yourself up for good track position for sure, able to lead a lot of laps as well, get the stage victory here. And now that it's all back to even footing, we saw you battling with those guys at the end of stage 1 up here, pretty good on pace. You feel like you can still hold them off?
Yeah, I don't know if they were saving or what, but I do. Atlanta's a pretty good track for me. It sucks that I'm out of the playoffs. Work bit me in the butt 2 weeks ago, but yeah, we'll see here. I figured I'm going to do the opposite of what those 3 were going to do, just to see how it pays out. I got nothing to lose.
All right, Bob, we'll let you get back to your team room, man, and get ready to restart this thing. Hopefully see that 3 up front and keep it clean. Maybe we'll talk to you at the end of this thing.
Yeah, see you guys.
All right, that was Bob Fitzpatrick, your stage 2 winner. And we got our pit reporter, David Edwards, out there in our race reporter for earlier tonight. Curtis Preston up +3 after the pit stops. Yeah, that's a great point there. 7th to 4th. Hayward up to 6th, too. I mean, we had a lot of guys gaining a good bit of positions there under those pit stops. Looks like Ryan Bean, because of that, long stop there. Kevin Ruff, also a long stop for him. Nathan Campbell losing a lot of track position. So some playoff guys losing track position here. That also sets Preston up with a very good position here to start up front.
Yeah, and I mean, that's when guys make a lot of mistakes and you don't on pit road, those tiny little seconds that you have to take to readjust yourself in your pit box, that's a lot of positions on pit road. And you see right here, Curtis Preston, Hunter Hayward able to capitalize on that and gain some spots to set themselves up with even better track position on these fresh tires.
Well, race fans, let's see how this all plays out here. Thank you again for tuning in here to Freaky Fast Broadcasting tonight as we're here for the Mustang Week 20th anniversary 140 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Fitzpatrick Jr. going to lead us to green here in the 3 machine. Andrew Little on his outside. Casey Coons 3rd. Curtis Preston 4th. Pace car's in. Green flag is out, and Bob Fitzpatrick off and away. Great start for him in that 3 machine as he's able to jump the field.
Yeah, top 6 got really spread out there on the initial start. Bob Fitzpatrick looking to keep these guys side by side, give himself clear track and fresh air ahead of him, see if he can stretch his legs just a little bit here. But the battle now, 2nd, 5th position, really starting to heat up.
It looks like the field's spreading out there a little bit. Looks like Catrone in the 38. He's making a move on the bottom to try to position himself up in this race. Because remember, I think he saved a little bit last time, so he could definitely be using a little more here, because you're not going to get, considerably. I mean, it would be about a 40-lap run, so that would technically be our longest run. So we'll see who has what pace when we get down to it.
At this point, you can afford to push a little bit harder. You've got 2 stages under your belt here. The track's got plenty of rubber in now for most of the lanes everybody's going to be running. So if you're somebody like Catrone who's been saving a little bit, you don't need to save tires. You're not planning on not taking tires again. Go ahead, use the setup, man. See what you got with these guys. See if you can maybe go out here, take the lead away, set yourself up with some good track position by the time the pit stops come around. And it looks like now Catrone's starting to do that as he's right up to the back of this battle here in the 6th position, looking to come into the top 5.
Yeah, Catrone really starting to move forward here late in the going and show that he's got some strong pace in that 38 machine. As he's all over back on Hunter Hayward in that 48. He might even take a look. And you know, you got Hunter Hayward up here, same with Casey Kuntz and Fitzpatrick. These guys are non-playoff contenders. I think the playoff guys, they may be a little more aggressive and take a few more chances around these guys. Whereas, you know, maybe they'll be a little more tentative around these guys and try not to, you know, affect their points as much as what, you know, you normally would.
And I think it kind of goes both ways. You know, if I'm a playoff guy, I'm going to be giving these guys a little bit more room, not taking too many chances, just understanding, hey, man, they're just out here racing for wins. You know, I've got a lot more on the line than they do. If they reckon don't get the win, then that's just a bad race for them, but it's a bad season for me. I mean, the wreck here could be what takes you out of the hunt for the championship, especially this late into the playoffs and with the competition being as stiff as it is right now. So maybe giving them a little bit more room, but the non-playoff guys got to be understanding the position that the playoff guys are in. You don't want to cause them a problem that could potentially ruin their season.
Yeah, that could definitely shake things up now as Curtis Preston, Hunter Hayward, and James Catrone have all slid past Casey Kuntz there to take 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. As the field starts to close in on Fitzpatrick here, he had a little bit of a gap build up. Now the field's spreading out. Everybody's searching for lines and searching for speed. This is going to be fun to watch, this battle down the field.
Now we got Andrew Little and GT Rosari starting to close in on this group here, looking to get back inside the top 5. Both of them. Andrew Little doesn't seem like he got too much of that damage fixed on the rear of the car, but it doesn't seem to be hurting his speed whatsoever.
You can see that right on board Catrone. Hunter Hayward there taking position from him for 3rd. He's going to slide down to the bottom. Catrone will ride that seam there at the bottom in the 2nd lane. Looks to be getting a pretty good run down the back straightaway here. He may be looking to make a move on for you.
Well, thought about it for a second, decided to go ahead and just stay in line. Now riding the high side here in 3 and 4, looking to set up a good run down the front stretch and see if he can get a good pass made. But you can see the run on the bottom out of turn 4 is just so much better than the high side. And again, to my point, I'm going to echo it the entire race as long as I see guys doing it. 3rd lane in 3 and 4 just is not working. It does not seem to have ever worked. That 2nd groove, I think that's where you're going to want to be.
Yeah, this is getting really close up here. This is a common theme we see with this package at mile and a half. You got this closing period where guys just are on top of each other right now as the tires are really not the limiting factor, I would say. You know, yeah, it helps to have better tires, but right now the tires are in such good condition that everybody could run similar pace and keep up with each other. We're going to really see who's driving the smoothest, who's making the tires work the best here as we continue to click off laps. I'd say around that lap 85 point is when you're really going to see who's got what.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a lot of factors too. You got guys, you're going to see it. Guys that start to get penalized by driving really aggressively on these fresh tires, but also guys that are just stuck behind dirty air and not making that correction as a driver to account for it, backing up your corners a little bit, changing up your lane, trying to get some more clean air. If you just ride behind somebody the whole time, your front tires are going to go away a lot quicker than theirs, and that's when you're going to see some of these guys start to fall off in pace, not even from overdriving, but just that dirty air, the lack of clean air on the nose, making this car really, really tight in the center and abusing the tire, trying to get the power.
And the whole group here closing up. Look at Yuna is also in the 7th position, not far back. Campbell, he's drove his way back up to 9th there after starting pretty far back. Bean up to the 12th position. Ruff looks like he's stuck back in 14th. But, man, a few playoff guys making a rebound after losing some track position on that last stop. They're going to have a lot of work to do even after getting those good stage points.
And it's another downside of getting put back in the field on this strategy. But again, if the strategy works out, this doesn't matter too much. But if it stays green, it's a big hindrance. You've got a lot more cars to pass. That's a lot more dirty air to overcome. A lot more abuse you're going to have to put on your tires to make those passes to get to the front here. And you see now GT, he's had the pace. He was up there battling for the lead during the first stage here. But now with the dirty air and all the traffic just kind of mired here, he can't really get by either of these two. Now looking to the outside of Andrew Little. Finally going to be able to make that pass, but now he's got James Catrone he's going to have to worry about.
Oh, look at this, the squeeze. The Irizarry going to make the move to the inside. He gets by Little. He gets by Catrone. What a move from that 14 machine, showing why he is possibly the favorite to win this championship. As we go down in the 1 and 2 to the bottom, he's going to be at the 4th now. As GT really not flexed his muscle yet tonight, has shown pace, got up to that 2nd position, rode about 3rd in the first stage, but right now maybe starting to flex a little bit of muscle in the 14.
Yeah, and that is what you call efficient passing. I mean, not really getting hung up next to a guy, not staying behind him too long trying to set up a pass, just really passed him as he caught him, and you can't ask for anything more. Great move for the 14, like you said, trying to find a little bit more here and starting to close in on these front 3, but the gap between 1st and 2nd pretty much stagnated at this point. I think Hunter Hayward now is the one trying to search for a little bit of something to get by the 29 and start chasing down the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick.
And you got to remember, that car's got a lot of muscle under it because that's Mustang week there, 20th anniversary for them. That's the sponsored car right there for this race. GT Irizarry driving that Mustang, Ford Mustang, up to the 4th position. Can he get up there in front of the Chevy Camaros? I'm sure that'll be a big thing a lot of these Mustang guys want to see here tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Now, wouldn't that be something? GT and his Mustang Week Ford Mustang comes out here and wins the race, sponsored by Mustang Week. I'm sure he would be tickled to death if he could make that happen.
Definitely would be a special moment for him. I'm sure that's been a great sponsor for him to have this season. They've been on board with him for a while now, and coming on board here for the race tonight, cannot thank them enough for supporting the RSR Club Foods and the Evolution Racing League here. As the battle is so intense, Fitzpatrick still hanging on. I mean, Fitzpatrick's flexing a lot of muscle too. I mean, we've seen it from him. He drove the 2nd early in that stage. Kind of got there, rode when he got to Hayward and rode side by side. But man, he is really flexing some muscle tonight, showing that if he was in this round of 8, he would be one to contend for that Final 4.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's just more statements from the 48. I think it's been a whole season of statements, really, ever since he started with the ARCA series and then got the very quick call up after showing a lot of speed in the ARCA series and coming up here and just making statement after statement every race, having some bad luck and bouncing back for it, saying, hey guys, I came here to play. I've got a lot of speed, and you guys are going to have to race with me, and I'm having a lot of fun racing with you guys. And again, I can't say it enough. It seems like every time I look at turns 3 and 4, there's somebody riding that 3rd lane, and the last couple times it's been Bob Fitzpatrick. And now Curtis Preston has been gaining all that time in 3 and 4, now right to the back bumper of the 3 for the lead.
Yeah, traditionally around here, you want to run the top and the bottom of 3 and 4. I think we're seeing a lot of guys search anywhere and everywhere, but the side-by-side battle is heating up. Curtis Preston showed such good long-run pace in that 2nd stage, really on them old tires. I think if he gets out here, this is a scary moment for the rest of this field.
And look at this, Hunter Hayward now looking to the inside to make it 3 wide.
3 wide off of 2, and oh man, it's all going to come together as GT's going to have the big run. He's going to go under the inside of the 48, but he's going to back out of it. Man, what a moment there. That could have been 3 wide for the lead. Great racing here in Atlanta, 3 different lines being utilized.
Yeah, that would have worked in 3 and 4, 1 and 2. That high side and middle group going to get a little bit better of a run out. Now GT going to the inside of Hunter Hayward to take over that 3rd position. But Hayward going to have the preferred line in 1 and 2. Fitzpatrick as well up top here. Looks like Curtis Preston might get clear, but it's going to be a crossover maybe from Fitzpatrick. Not quite enough speed. Curtis Preston to the lead.
Oh, Fitzpatrick now to the inside side draft off the 29. He may be able to pull the same slide job the 29 did to him. I think he does. Clear, but does the 29 set up the crossover well? It looks like Fitzpatrick going to block the inside. Here comes the 29 back to the outside. Battle for the lead down the front straightaway. Fitzpatrick leads that lap, but Preston has the outside line this time. Does Fitzpatrick try to use the same slide job maneuver the 29 used? We'll have to see.
Well, he's going to come up, but he's running out of time. Curtis Preston now right there Gonna have to side draft him here. Not gonna be able to get too effective of a side draft. Curtis Preston gonna be completely clear, but Fitzpatrick charging back on the inside. A little bit of contact. Forcing Curtis Preston up the track just a little bit. That allows Hunter Hayward to really close in this gap.
And he's gonna go down low here. Maybe get the push to the 3. This is all stacking up, these 4 drivers on top of each other. Here comes the 14 GT Azari. Something's gonna have to give here in the next few moments as the 3 tries to make the run. Here comes the 48 running the seam. I think the 29 is going to have to run off the top. Yes, he does. Curtis Preston should clear for the lead here, but I don't think Fitzpatrick's going to be able to get up as the 48's coming. He should be able to clear, possibly runs that middle lane. This is going to be close, Brandon. Same with your Azari here. He's running the bottom. These guys just searching for any bit of speed.
Well, Hunter Hayward able to make that 3rd lane work just to keep even. A slight advantage out of turn 4, but now the big advantage is going to come here. Maybe a little bit of contact there between the 3 and the 48. But the dirty air from Curtis Preston not going to help him, but the toe down the backstretch with the run from the top going to be huge here. We may see the 48 able to clear the 3 by the time they get into turn 3, and it looks like not quite.
So close to clear. He cleared it for a moment there, but the 3 going to come right back to the inside, but the 14 also GT not too far behind. I think the 48's got the run this time. He clears for 2nd. Hunter Hayward up to 2nd. GT Azari now all in the back bumper. He's going to look to clear for that 3rd spot. He almost makes the move down. That was very close.
Yeah, these guys are battling hard here. I mean, you've got 2 playoff guys, 2 non-playoff guys battling for the top 4 spots here, all going for a win. And not too far from now, we're going to start seeing guys start trickle onto pit road. And this is just trying to set up among your competition to get a good gauge of when they're pitting and when you want to pit. You want to go a little bit long, maybe a little bit short, or try to keep even with them.
Yeah, I think that pit window is going to open up around lap 100. Looks like the battle for 2nd's heating up too with GT there, but looks like Catrone trying to hold off Kuntz here in the 31 machine.
Yeah, these guys, we've been looking at the top 4, but 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and even farther back, guys battling side by side here. More playoff drivers, non-playoff drivers duking it out, trying to get good track position here following the pit stop cycle, and these leaders are not too far out of reach from them.
Definitely not out of reach here. The battle's all over this track, man. It's just heating up now as I think 100 is going to be around that mark. We want to hit it, but look at your Azari work the bottom in that 14. He's going to try to get by.
Just about had Hunter Hayward cleared there. Hunter able to battle back on the outside out of 2. And we'll see if the inside lane here, again, Hunter Hayward goes in and just drifts up a little bit towards center. That really opens the door for GT to put the power down and get the massive run out of turn 4 to take over 2nd position. Now looking his eyes forward to chase down teammate Curtis Preston.
Yes, he does. 14 up to 2nd now as he has really made the big move. See if he can have anything for his teammate. We saw in that 2nd stage, he kind of struggled late in the going. But man, oh man, it's looking good here for the 14. Like I said, he may start to flex that muscle as we closed in on those pit stop windows. Casey Kuntz back there in the 31 still battling with James Catrone for that 7th position. Those two have been side by side for forever, it feels like at this point.
Yeah, and Catrone definitely not making it easy on Casey to make this pass here. When you pinch a guy down like that, he can't get back to the throttle as quickly, and you just stay side by side for so long, and it just comes down to somebody making a mistake, somebody overdriving and having to lift that allows the pass to be made, whether it's the guy on the outside driving it in too deep, the guy on the inside maybe catching the apron, or maybe driving it in too deep himself, realizing, oh man, I'm about to wash up the track, I got to lift here. But Casey able to make this pass now as it looked like Catrone made that mistake, drove in just a little bit too deep.
Yeah, he's really fighting hard there on the bottom. Now look at that. Slide forward, but here comes the 31 back around the outside. Casey Kuntz making it work. Here comes the 52 and Nathan Campbell. He's trying to make the pass. This is the battle between 2 playoff guys, and playoff guys need positions over each other. Oh, sliding up the racetrack for the 52, very close to the door and out of 4. Great racing here we're seeing at the Atlanta Motor Speedway between these drivers.
Yeah, it's now all these side-by-side passes, they're finally starting to get sorted out. Everybody more or less single file. Even all the way up here back to the 5th position with Andrew Little. These guys have gotten sorted out. Hunter Hayward and Bob Fitzpatrick falling off just a little bit. GT still looking to track down his teammate here. Gonna have to look at the lap times as they come back around to see who's got a slight advantage.
Yeah, right now, I tell you what, GT is that time by a little bit slower, but closing it in, and David Evers down these two races. Oh, geez, they're going to take each other out, LOL. So,
I mean,
tell you what, we've seen it before. Exactly, took the words out of my mouth. But, man, I would never doubt fireworks between these two guys. They race super hard between each other. And if Irizarry can run him down, you know he's going to do everything in his power to get that Mustang in victory lane over that Chevy Camaro. I mean, that is a huge thing and huge bragging rights for those guys. And that time by about a tick faster. He is definitely closing in. He's found something this run.
It absolutely has. And you can see he's making that late cut down the corner here, taking a little bit off from the high line that Curtis Preston's running. Didn't quite work in 1 and 2, but something that he's doing in 3 and 4. Gonna have to look at it this time by and see exactly what GT's doing. Almost mirroring his teammate, keeping it a little bit higher though, keeping the speed up and not cutting down quite as far. It's really allowing him to generate a lot more of a run out of turn 4, and that has been the difference in lap time, I think, each and every lap here.
Yeah, this is fun stuff to watch. And he's just trying something different each time. I mean, they were pretty much matching the last time by. They're pulling away from the rest of the field. As I think Fitzpatrick, he's already hit pit road, Brandon.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick and the 52 of Nathan Campbell already hit pit road. Travis Everett as well, now hitting pit road as the leaders went by. And GT has now got within 3/10. I think it's a little bit too late as the pit stops have begun here. We're going to have to see who blinks first. Does one undercut the other? Do they try to go in at the same time? Or does somebody try to stretch it a little bit longer, have maybe a lap or two fresher tires, and see if they can pull it off at the end here? We're going to have to see.
And this is coming down to it. Look at this. Curtis Preston, he waits no longer. He doesn't want to get undercut by his teammate. He comes down. I think if you're GT here, maybe at the most 1 or 2 laps, and right at 100 is what I was thinking. That's when these guys start to peel off on the pit road.
Yeah, and Hunter Hayward had just hit pit road a lap before here, so we're going to see where Hunter cycles out in all of this as well, if he's able to leapfrog Curtis Preston. But with the gap that Curtis had built out, I think he's still going to be able to come out in front of the 48. Now getting calls that the 112 of Kevin Ruff going to be hitting pit road this time. GT looks like still out on the track. Now he's hitting pit road here. So GT wasting no time, not letting Curtis gap him at all on this tire strategy. Well, now that's going to be the battle, seeing where these two cycle around.
Oh, man, this is fun to watch. Andrew Little cycles to the lead, yet to pit, yet for him. That 68 machine looks like Chad Beesinger, also James Catrone will stay out. Brock Potter in the 4, as most drivers have hit pit road now. Yeah, other than those 3. Everybody getting pit road service, trying to get 4 new tires, and I think Andrew Little coming down this time as he pulls to the bottom.
Brock Potter get the call. He's coming in this time. James Catrone, Chad Beesinger staying out on the track for the moment.
Oh man, a huge jump by Curtis Preston over GT. That was much more than I would expect for just 1 extra lap pitting. I'm not sure if GT had a mistake getting into his box or not, but man, that seems like some extra time there lost for the 14.
Well, I mean, you look at it, it seems like the guy that pits first is the one that gains the time. Hunter Hayward all over the back bumper of Curtis Preston now. And you saw how much earlier Hunter Hayward pit than Preston, that lap extra, and how much space Curtis Preston had over Hunter Hayward. And getting the update that about 2 seconds slower for GT in his pit stop. I think that might have been a mistake, Zach. I think he may have slid through the box.
Yeah, I went and looked at it there, and he didn't. He did have somewhat of a slow entry, conservative entry into the box. I'm not sure if Curtis Preston just nailed it, and that's what's caused it. But man, GT going to come out about 4 seconds back, and I mean that's a huge loss for him this late in the going.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tall task for him to make up that track position on even tires with how fast we've seen Curtis Preston be. So he's got a lot of work cut out for him, and I think he's got to rely on a caution now to bunch the field back up. I think that's going to be his best shot. They both are on the same strategy with the fresher tires, but that track position, everybody being so close on the restart, I think that's going to be GT's best shot now.
We'll have to see how it all plays out here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to call tonight's action. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up button to help us out there on the YouTube side. And let's hit that notification bell to let us know when we go live each and every time we're on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. And also hit that subscribe button. But we're nearing the 35 to go point here at the RSR Cup Series. We're going to take a quick commercial here before all the action starts to transpire here at Late to Go.
want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that McConey Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flags Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at McConey Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, McConey Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to McConeySetupShop.com and learn why McConey Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
All right, we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, with 25 laps to go. Sorry, with Curtis Preston with a 1.1 second lead over Hunter Hayward. GT Irizarry closing in though, down to 2.7 seconds back to the 14 machine. Don't know if he'll have enough pace to be able to run down that 29, but I think he's got enough if this stays green to get to that 48 for sure.
Yeah, GT's turning some pretty fast laps. Last time by 2/10 quicker than our leader and 3/10 quicker than Hunter Hayward in second place. Have to see what it does across the line this time by. He's looking to get around Steve Baldwin, the lap car. And last time by 2/10 quicker. Our first and second place matching lap times. GT may, depending on how big of a fight Hunter Hayward puts up here, GT might be able to close down the gap between himself and our leader.
And, you know, this is a long race here. This has been a race where these drivers learn, the track's changed, more rubber is laid down. Could it be possible that it's going away from Curtis Preston? We've seen, you know, early in this race, he was so dominant with his long run pace. But right now, it's showing some cracks in the armor right there, a little bit faster than Hunter Hayward, so it does break that gap a little more. But GT Irizarry again closing it down 2.4 seconds there with 23 to go. It's still possible for GT to do it, but man, he has got to really be putting a good run all the way down to the end. He's got to at least get him at least a 10th on average a lap.
Yeah, really cannot afford for the tires to start to even out. I still think the caution is going to be the best bet for GT. I think if he can get that caution, get back on even footing, he's going to be able to really be there to race, especially when the gap closes down for the restart. Going to be able to be right there. But having the tires even out is going to be the absolute worst. Like you said, needs a 10th every lap. Last time by, got a little bit more than a 10th, but it has to keep going in that direction. He's got to hope Curtis Preston really hits a wall and his tires start to fall off in a massive way.
Yeah, he's going to have to need something like that, but man, GT just closing it down continuously. Each time 2.1 right there. You know, that's about a 10th on average he's doing right now still. So it's there, but he's got to get around the 48 and got to do it what I call a frictionless pass. He's just got to pass the 48 and not lose any time.
Yeah, I mean, he cannot afford to get hung up battling side by side with the 48 here. And I think the 48's got to realize what position 14 is in. Can't afford to hold him up.
Yeah, I think that's going to be critical to see what does Hayward do. How hard does he battle GT? GT goes to the top here once he gets to him. Now going to cut it down. He's running a very interesting line. Almost what I would say is cutting it down the racetrack to get a run off. Here able to get the draft now sucked up to the 48. I think he's going to go to the bottom down here in 3 and 4. Elects to actually go somewhat to the middle as Hayward tracks himself up to the wall. Irizarry down to the bottom side by side here off of 4. Looks like Irizarry going to have a nose ahead and the better run down the front straightaway. Looks like Hayward going to concede the position to that 14 and slide back to 3rd as the 14 charges up through the field. Now 2 seconds behind our race leader Curtis Preston with 19 to go. Can he do it? Can he run him down? 1 lap fresher tires. We'll have to see if that's what it amounts to, or does he has something figured out here lately, though.
And I mean, looking at the line that Curtis Preston hit pit road. Are they not going to be able to make it on fuel?
Did they pit too early?
Oh.
Now, they pit at lap 40. Yeah, I don't think they can make it, actually, thinking about this. Man, they should have stretched it more, especially because that they could have definitely stretched it longer, in my opinion. They have made a huge mistake here by pitting. This is going to catch them off, and Aaron Clark's going to come down this time, but who stretched it the longest? I think Little stretched it the longest. I think Andrew Little's going to be in the best position.
Yeah, this is huge. I mean, granted, I don't remember if Andrew Little was on the same strategy as GT, as Hayward, as Preston, but these guys are going to be on fresh tires and be able to make up a good bit of ground here. GT now into his pit box. No mistake this time for the 14. Getting those 4 tires, that set that he had saved. Not going to have to rely on the caution to use them. A little bit mistimed strategy here, but now you've got Bob Fitzpatrick taking over the lead. Anthony Yunus is going to be second, Chad Biesinger third. This just shook up everything. I was definitely not expecting this.
So this extra set of tires is going to come into play now, Brandon. This is where saving that set is going to come really a critical factor. Our top 3 did it, so the top 3, it's not going to be a bunch of a factor for them, but did anybody stretch it long enough? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now, because Little only stretched it to that 101 mark. That's not going to be enough, in my opinion. So who stretched it the longest?
This is going to be interesting. I mean, if you're somebody like Bob Fitzpatrick, you've essentially got a full lap. You don't have too long left in the race, and these guys are much quicker than you, but you've got time that you can back up just a little bit, try to save something. But, I mean, that's a tall order.
Oh, man, with 15 to go. This just shook everything up. This caught me off guard. I know it probably caught a lot of the fans out there off guard. So this is wild here now. Hunter Hayward, he really gained in all of that, Brandon. He was a whole lap less fresher than Curtis Preston. Now on the same lap, just as fresh, and he's within distance. 14 to go. I mean, this could get interesting between these two, and definitely no love lost.
Yeah, absolutely not. And I think the biggest loser again on the strategy was GT. He's come out so far back from Curtis Preston. Again, I think the guy that hits first just has such an advantage here, and it's really showed again. I mean, GT has kind of been left, seconds back from where he was before. Really not going to have the time to make use of the tires, especially because they're so even now. Hunter Hayward in the best shot to try to track down the 29, and you don't have a lot of laps left, but they're both in the same understanding that you don't have a lot of laps left. Go out here, use this set up, melt them if you have to, but get absolutely every little bit of speed you can out of it, because these guys are setting burner laps right now, trying to, one, keep away from the other.
Yeah, this is definitely interesting to watch here with 12 to go. Fitzpatrick still out front, Biesinger in second, Little third, Dowd fourth, Potter in fifth. These drivers all ahead of Curtis Preston, Hunter Hayward, GT Rosari, who have made their pits. But even if those drivers are somewhat able to make it, the pace that Preston and these guys are turning, they're going to catch them.
I mean, for some drivers, they're running 3 seconds almost, or just under, over 2 seconds, faster. So it's a huge speed difference right now. And by the looks of it, they're going to have a lot of lap traffic to deal with here momentarily.
Yeah, and there's going to be so much faster than that lap traffic, too. That's what's going to make this pretty interesting, Brandon. I think who loses time through here is going to be critical. This is going to be a critical phase of the race here with the red.
Looking at the lap times as they come across, I mean, dead even. 31:06, 31:06 on the timer here. Yeah, I mean, navigating this traffic, it's the harder job for Preston because he has to find the way around them. Hunter Hayward can just follow. So it's just not getting caught up here in a bad position with this lap traffic. And again, looking at Hunter Hayward taking the third groove through 3 and 4. I'm not even gonna repeat myself anymore. You all know how I feel.
Yeah, 3 or 4, I would not put myself up there either, but I feel the same way about that. Definitely more the bottom group there. We're seeing, though, guys, use the whole racetrack. So some guys are liking to that tune, but when we get up to lap traffic here, you're just going to have to find the open traffic because they're so much faster, and they're about to be up on them now as Preston to the back bumper, Brock Potter and Ryan Bean here as they go start navigating through lap traffic here. This is where it's going to be a critical phase of the race here with 9 to go.
And look how much that has allowed Hunter Hayward to close in. Curtis Preston catching lap traffic right at the exit. It compromised his exit speed, having to woe up for these guys. Hunter Hayward going to be doing a little bit of the same with Ryan Bean here. Not quite to the same effect. Going to allow Curtis Preston to stretch out just a little bit. But now Curtis going 3 wide through the lap traffic.
Yeah, looks like he had to get by his teammate Travis holding the bottom there. Good job by him. Looks like Hayward going to catch him right on the exit. Same with Kevin Dow. That's going to not help him the most, but he's still in this with a fight with 8 to go. He's right there within a shot, and they still got at least 4 more cars on lap traffic to get by. If he can time these cars right and get a run, it could be for position.
Yeah, I mean, last time by, Curtis Preston just a couple hundreds quicker. I mean, some of these lap traffic ahead, they're battling for position. They're looking to get side by side here, and that could be absolutely disastrous. If you're Curtis Preston, you have to try to find a way through that. You're going to have to shoot 3 wide. You can't afford to check up with Hunter Hayward this close behind you. Bob Fitzpatrick hitting pit road this time. Fitzpatrick not able to stretch it far enough. Was looking for a caution that he did not get. Chad Biesinger and now Andrew Little taking over the first and second spot. It looks like they're just ahead.
Oh, man. And it looks like Chad Biesinger, he might have been the driver to stretch it the most. He stretched it to about 102. So he may be able to do it. Andrew Little behind him, 101. Here comes Curtis Preston, though. That's the thing, it's not going to really matter too much. They might be able to get a good, decent finish out of it, but it's not going to be a raceway move. But here comes Preston. He's all the way back at Chad Biesinger. This is what Hayward needs. Hayward's going to have probably a big run down the back straightaway, just too far back, though.
Another car coming off a pit road just in front here, not allowing Preston to get all the way to the bottom on the entry to the corner. I don't think they held him up enough, but now Hunter Hayward's got to try to get by them, and they are just jumbled here.
Yeah, this may cause an issue there as Curtis Preston takes the lead with 5 to go. Hunter Hayward here on the bottom lane, trying to pull forward here in the second place here as he's past Andrew Little there, but Chad Biesinger naked. Here comes GT, though. GT, through all of this, has been the one really gaining in this big picture of things here. With 5 to go, he's closed up to the back bumper of this 48 as he's trying to get by Baldwin and Biesinger, who are definitely not cutting the 48 no slack right now.
Yeah, and GT, I mean, he's not going to have the time to get to his teammate, but definitely looking for a second place here. I think with the pace that GT has right now, if he can get a caution, I think he wins this race.
And here he comes, GT up the inside of Hunter Hayward, looking to take that second place position and get the second place points that he wants for this championship. Now up to second. He's got a lot of room to gain on his teammate. He's going to need some type of yellow to have any type of chance with 3 to go. Curtis Preston is drived off into the sunset, just trying to see that white flag. Right now, it's him just trying to get back to that checkered flag, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear, open track here. A couple lap cars ahead of him, but not really close enough that they should even affect any of his last few laps here. GT trying, but just not enough laps. He's praying somebody please wreck their car.
2 to go. Curtis Preston out front, GT Irizarry second, Hunter Hayward third in the 48 machine. Curtis Preston, after a win last week at the Richmond Raceway, looking to come here to Atlanta and put himself back in victory lane again. It's been 2 wins in the playoffs here for the number 29, looking to get that third and really spark some momentum, tie himself for the most wins this season. White flag is out. One final time for the Mustang 20th anniversary, Mustang Week 20th anniversary 140 here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Curtis Preston with a 1.5 second lead, looking to bring home the win, looking to go back-to-back with his championship, lock himself in to Homestead. What a night it's been here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for that Jim Beam number 29. So much pace, so much on the line. He's going to go to Homestead, though, with more on the line, as he's going to try to go back-to-back with championships as he wins here tonight. Back-to-back race wins for the 29, and second, Hunter Hayward third.
Chad Biesinger, though, I mean, didn't get the win, but that fourth place finish, good stage points as well. Same with Andrew Little. These guys really capitalized tonight. Nathan Campbell finishing 11th here. James Catrone 15th. Travis Everett, after his incident, 17th, dropping a lot of points here. It was a really good race for the 23 and the 68.
That was a fantastic call by those drivers, man. What? Yeah, Chad Biesinger, Andrew Little making it stretch there on fuel. That was really great from Anthony Younes. A lot of great calls from drivers there to get themselves in position here tonight. But Curtis Preston, your race winner, is going to burn it down on the front straightaway here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway as he celebrates race victory number 4 this season and putting himself locked into the championship race at Homestead. As he celebrates on the first straightaway, we will take a quick break as we find our top 3 drivers and get a quick chat with those 3. All right, we are back here for our post-race interviews tonight after our top 3 finishers at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Let's bring up the 48 of Hunter Hayward after his top 3 finish here tonight at Atlanta. Hey, Hunter, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, buddy, I tell you what, another good run for yourself tonight, man. Started second and was able to bring home that top 3 finish here at the very end of this thing, man. I tell you what, battling all night long, hard-fought battle. Had to stretch the tires in the first stage, take us through hot Atlanta here tonight. Even though it was a little bit cold out on the track, this track still put up a hard fight for, it seems like, a lot of guys.
Oh, yeah, and I know Atlanta's known for chewing up the tires with this old racing surface that it has, and it definitely did. I struggled with the car in the second round with keeping the tires under me a little bit. It was hard. I mean, to keep up with all those 2 guys in front of me, the 14 at GT and Curtis. They had really good cars today, and I congratulate them on their race, which I'd like to add. That's how you win a race right there. That's how you do it. But it was a really good race. I enjoyed it, and it was really struggled with the car. You can make it loose. It was really tight if you pushed it a little bit too much, and did really good in the first stage, held them off really well. Struggled in the second stage, but fortunately fought our way back and got this Columbia Sales 48 Chevrolet in third place.
Yeah, buddy, it was a great run for you tonight here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. You know, we've seen the lines change up. You had the lead early in the go in the first stage. You won the stage. You ran most of the bottom early in the go and then had to move up as the cars came to you. You seen them run the high line. How did the line evolve over the night? We've seen you, sticking somewhat to the top side in 3 and 4. Kind of moving around. But what was the plan there? Just trying to search for anything, really?
Yeah, I was trying to search for grip, definitely, but just the main thing I wanted was clean air to my nose and kind of running somewhat opposite to what the 29 was running. And, it didn't work very well. He definitely figured out the lines much better than me, but I was just trying to get clean air to my nose, and it worked really well in the beginning runs. Unfortunately, I just couldn't make it stick in the later runs like they could, and that, unfortunately, that's what ended us in third place. I wanted that win, but, that's what happens. I wasn't really racing for too much, and I'd take a third place finish even if I'm not in the playoffs anymore. But just clean air is so important, especially with this package where you want as much front turn, and that's where I was trying to get to my car. But unfortunately, it just wasn't as good as theirs in the longer run.
Well, buddy, nonetheless, a great valiant effort to fight all night long in that 48 machine to bring home that third place finish. So congrats on that, Hunter. Before we let you get out of here, buddy, anybody want to send a shout out to in that Plan B sales number 48?
Yeah, just all my teammates out there, Chad, Kevin, Rusty, unfortunately, who couldn't make it. Yunez, all of them out there. It's awesome racing with you week in and week out. Talking to you, racing, doing everything with you every Tuesday night. This league for letting me in. Appreciate everything they do. Really great set of people, and I like racing with them all the time. Freaky Fast for broadcasting every single week, in and out, and also me being able to commentate every Thursday night and maybe sometimes even other nights as fill-in. So I enjoyed that a lot. Also, my sponsor, like I was going to shout out earlier, PlanBSales.com. Check them out. They're largest distributor of diecast in North America, and you can find your favorite drivers, any motorsport that you enjoy, like F1, IndyCar, dirt racing, NASCAR, any of them. For apparel like T-shirts, hats, diecast, anything, memorabilia, all that type of stuff for your favorite driver. So check them out. It'll help us out a lot. Make sure you use code HH48HH, as in Hunter Hayward 48. I like the 48. Plan B Sales Chevy. We drive every Tuesday night. Checkout. Use the coupon code at checkout for $20 or for free shipping. I always say $20, Zach, and you've caught me one time. For free shipping on orders over $20. Oh, man, I need to keep figuring that out. But also, you guys over at Cat 5 help me out every single week. Cedric, you, Collie, Larry, all of them, Brian, every single one of them means a lot. Also, my family out there who watches every single week. I love all y'all. And, on the next week.
Well, buddy, congrats on third here tonight. We'll catch you next week at Pocono. You have a great night, buddy.
All right, thank you, brother.
All right, everybody. That was Hunter Hayward in the 48 machine, your third place finisher tonight. But, man, the slide job racing boys up front, 1-2 for them. Great way to start off the round of 8 for GT Rosario with a second place finish to his teammate Curtis Preston. Let's hear from GT now in that 14 machine. Hey, GT, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man? Hey, GT, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy? Oh, I think we got you, but we might got you a little bit roboty. You there again, GT?
How about now? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better, brother. There we go. We got you loud and clear now, man. Well, I'll tell you what, good to have you up here in the booth, man. Second place finish tonight, buddy. Great way to start off the round of 8 for yourself. Some good stage points there in stage 1, electing to save that set of tires there in stage 2, man. Hard fought battle tonight between you and your teammate. You showed a lot of pace there down to the very end, man. What do you think it could have took to be able to get that win, though?
A little bit more laps added to it. That's what we were just talking about. Is I had the number one. Our team had the long pace speed, and that's just due to practice that we've been putting in for the week, and it shows. I mean, it seems like after about 20 laps or so, I mean, we would just kind of take off from the field. So, but underneath that first pit though, Curtis actually was blowing everybody's doors off, and I was like, man, I gotta change up something, because I was just eating the tires up so much. So I changed the line up a little bit, but still pretty much committed to almost running the bottom, throughout the whole thing, and it actually worked out better. And then I started getting better tire wear than him, so that's where it was paying off in the long run. But we just ran out of time, man.
Yeah, definitely. That was you actually answered my second question for you because that's what we pointed out. Curtis during that first run, first in the first and second stage there, when he really seen on those old tires, he was lights out. And man, whatever you changed, like you said, your line there to fix it, man, it really seemed to bring the pace up to his level and have even better there coming down to that that next to last pit stop, man. But a great run tonight. I think some really good points for yourself as we head into, I think, two really good tracks for you, man, Pocono and Dover, where I think you could really have some strong runs. How you feeling about going off into those next 2 weeks?
Well, I feel great if we just don't have the luck that our teammate Travis had tonight. Dover, we finished second, actually behind Travis. Last time we were there in Pocono, we won last time. So Pocono is certainly the one that's circled. But I do like both of those tracks. Don't get me wrong. So I mean, I'm okay with it. Well, we just got to, not create any mess or not get caught up in anybody else's mess. At that, especially Pocono. You crumple the fender, you're just fighting for whatever the hell you can get from there. And hell, Dover's pretty much the same way. So we're excited for it. We're excited to for this race right here to be sponsored by Mustang Week. That certainly was an honor right there. And I appreciate Ryan getting that up there for us and stuff like that. And I'm glad that we got some TV time for him and at least got him in. Got him podium finish up here in P2 and grab some stage 1 points. And we got the positive momentum.
That's exactly right, my friend. Positive momentum for you, and it's getting down to the end of the season where it's getting spicy, man. So it's definitely getting fun up here in the booth. We're enjoying it. Thank you very much for putting on a show out there for us, you and your teammates, and all the guys out here at the RSR Cup Series. And before we let you go, though, GT, and get ready for next week at Pocono, man, see if you can get another win there. Anybody wants to shout to?
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly, Mustang Week for coming on board and sponsoring the car. I really do appreciate that, and I'm glad we're able to get on a good showing for them. And actually, it's I'm driving the car out in the open service, and I've actually had people ask me about it. Kind of stands out a little bit there. I want to thank you boys up in the booth. You guys do a great job. Ryan for everything he does, Chef for everything he does, obviously for the leagues. I mean, there's just so much that goes on that makes this so fun for us to come out here and be so competitive, and I greatly, really do appreciate that a lot. And my teammates. I mean, again, we practice our butts off this week, and I mean, we had kind of mixed emotions about Atlanta. It's just like, you just got to be the car out front. I mean, once you're out front, you could control it. But actually, throughout this race, I mean, that wasn't necessarily the case. I mean, there was a lot of side by side and different lines. So I want to thank my teammates for helping me along through here and stuff like that, and ButtKicker as well.
Well, GT, man, I tell you what, it's been a fun night for sure here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll see what you can do at Pocono, buddy. Congrats on second year tonight, and we'll catch you next week, man.
10-4, guys. Talk to y'all next week.
Yeah, buddy. All right, that was GT Irizarry, your second place finisher tonight, getting some good points in that 14 machine, bringing home that second place finish to his teammate Curtis Preston, who has locked himself in to the round of 4 at Homestead, trying to go back to back in championships too. This guy is performing at the right time of the season. We wondered, one win coming into the playoffs. What is wrong with the 29 machine? He has been so dominant last season. This season clicks it off right at the beginning of the playoffs. Let's hear, though, from Curtis Preston, our Sheffield Graphics race winner here tonight. Hey, Curtis, is Zach up in the booth, man? You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, Zach?
Hey, man, I tell you what, buddy, that 29 was on rails tonight, man. We really noticed how strong your pace was, early in the going there. You kind of started back in that 9th position, rode there for a little bit, man, and then all of a sudden the 29 just started coming through the field. Y'all saved the set of tires, and then we've really seen what you had in store for us with the pace. Man, just tell us how well you had it clicking out here tonight at Atlanta.
Oh, we had a hot rod for sure. Long run pace was great, and we usually run good on long runs here in Atlanta. Atlanta really favors saving tires. We're able to take care of the right front all night, but just being patient, picking up the throttle, and then there towards the end, man, we had the extra set, and it was like we were like 5 laps short. And it's like, man, did we run it out? and just take a splash and try to go that way, or do we pit, take tires? And then some other guys were pitting early, and I knew they were taking tires, so they brought us down pit road. We didn't have no choice, but little split second decision there, kind of on pins and needles, which way to go.
Yeah, definitely kind of caught us off guard a little bit too when you guys were pitting. We were like, oh man, they're hitting pit road again. So we definitely were caught off guard by that for sure, man. Tell you what though, great run here tonight. You know, the big thing now, man, you put yourself in that final four again to possibly go and win this championship back to back, get that second championship, and not only that, but the fourth win, man, and the third in the playoffs. I mean, the momentum is coming in at the right time. You know, what is it going to take these next 2 weeks to build you up to have that, you know, prime momentum going into Homestead?
You got to have a little luck always, but just keep doing what we've been doing, man. Taking care of the equipment and all that good stuff. It's tough. I mean, we got a chance at it. You'd be naive to go into the Final Four thinking anybody's the favorite, I think. But at least we got a shot at it. That's all you can ask for.
That's for sure, man. It's definitely going to be a tough competition, but you can already breathe a sigh of relief that you're locked in and you're going to have a chance for a championship at the Homestead Miami Speedway, man. It's going to be fun to watch as the next 2 weeks click off and see who else can lock themselves in and be your competitors coming down to the end, man. But we can't wait to see how it all shakes out. Before we let you get out here and celebrate this thing, Curtis, anybody want to send a shout out to for your victory here tonight, man?
As always, I got to send a shout out to guys at SJR, man. We tested and practiced here this week, man, and worked on it and worked on it, worked on it, and I think that showed. Me and GT had real good long run pace. Travis did too. He just got caught up in that wreck early. I think GT might have been a little quicker than us there at the end. He just ran out of time. Appreciate Ryan Azell, Michael Sheffield, Kevin Ruff, Steve. The list goes on and on of guys for Evolution Racing Leagues and what they do for us to give us a spot to come out here and do this on Tuesday nights. It's a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys in the booth for what you do, and all the people that grease the wheels, or Nissan Central, ButtKicker, Sheffield Graphics. Got to thank Mustang Week for coming on board tonight. They've been a big help to SJR in the league, so we really appreciate it.
Definitely so, Curtis, man. Congrats on the win here tonight, man. Fourth of the season. We'll see what you can do in these next 2 races, but the big one comes up in 3 weeks, man. Congrats on locking yourself in, and go celebrate this thing, man.
Will do, man. You guys have a good night.
You too, buddy. All right, guys. That was Curtis Preston, your race winner here tonight, brought to you by Sheffield Graphics. Fourth win of the season, like I said, locks himself into the Homestead Miami season finale for the championship. That is that's got to be a moment he's definitely cherishing right now to have another chance to go back to back for a championship. But here's our race results here tonight from the Mustang Week 20th anniversary 140 here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Curtis Preston being your Sheffield Graphics race winner. Teammate GT Arizar going to come home in the second position. Third is going to go to Hunter Hayward. Fourth going to be Chad Beesinger with the great call there from him. Fifth going to go to Andrew Little. Sixth going to be Anthony Yunez. Seventh, Nolan Potter. Eighth going to be Bob Fitzpatrick. Ninth is going to be Casey Kuntz. 20th is going to be Brock Potter. 11th is going to be Nathan Campbell. 12th is going to be Kevin Ruff. 13th is going to go to Ryan Bean. 14th, Kevin Dow. 15th is going to go to James Catrone. 16th, Kevin Zabaldil. 17th is going to be points leader Travis Everett. 18th is going to be Stephen Baldwin. 19th, Craig A. Burns. And rounding out your field in the 20th position is going to be Tony Ludi, as that's your race results here tonight from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And what a night of racing it was, Brandon. I cannot wait for the next 2 weeks. But man, lot of stuff. Curtis Preston locking himself in here tonight, but 3 slots still available for these drivers. There's a lot on the line here in these next 2 weeks, man.
Yeah, I mean, great job for Curtis to lock himself in early here, get the pressure out of the way, not really having to worry about the next 2 races. Again, they talked about how much they practiced just for Atlanta. He's got 3 weeks to prepare for Homestead to go in there and try to go back to back for a championship here. And bad luck to Travis Everett coming in the points leader. Really going to be on the back foot now, and you've got to think one of those 3 spots. He's thinking he's going to have to win to get in here. He had a 10-point cushion coming in, but not getting any stage points for either stage, and then finishing in the 17th position. Really going to hurt him. The good news is some of the guys that did get stage points, they finished toward the back with him. So it's going to help a little bit. Might still have a chance to point his way in, but should be looking for a win. And, talked about it earlier. Chad Buesing, Ranger Little, great strategy. Not able to win in the race, but a huge amount of points between the stages and that 4th and 5th place finish for both of them. Those guys are looking strong to put their names on the list of drivers going to Miami to race for a championship. But we still got 2 more weeks to sort out who's that is going to be.
That we do. So don't miss that here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Next week we'll be at the Pocono Raceway, then off to Dover Downs for the Dover International Speedway, that great racetrack down there in Delaware. So we cannot wait for some more fantastic racing from the Evolution Racing Leagues, the RSR Cup Series, and the ARCA Evolution Series as we wind down their season and get to the final 3 weeks, man. We got 3 weeks left of this deal, and we will be crowning 2 champions, not only 1 like we did last season. We'll be crowning 2, so it's going to be a special moment here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting in 3 Tuesdays from now. Do not miss that action at Homestead Miami Speedway, and if you haven't yet, please remember to hit that like or that thumbs up button, that notification bell, and hit that subscribe button as we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. I'm gonna be like a broken record till we get there. So we're definitely gonna break it, and I can't wait to do that. So please get that number up, and we'll send it to Robert Moore Jr., our producer, to close out tonight's broadcast.
All right, thank you guys. Like Zach said, if you don't want to hear him sound like a broken record, get that number up because he won't stop until we get there. So yeah, let's get there fast so we don't hear him repeating himself. But yeah, man, what what awesome racing here with these guys here tonight. And Atlanta put on another great show. Like we said before, it's a shame to see this track surface go in real life, but you know what? We always have it in iRacing, and we can always go back and race it anytime we want, as we have it here on the virtual side of things. So thank you to iRacing for giving us this platform and this track to be able to race it whenever we want to. So thank you again to them. But all right, well, we're going to get ready to sign off here from Atlanta. Our next televised will be tomorrow night, 8:30 with Underdog Racing League as we go to Homestead in the Xfinity cars. So we'll have Ryan and also have Zach Hall calling all the action tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Hop in, say hi, and let us know how your day went and enjoy some racing with Underdog Racing League. But until then, we want to say God bless everybody. We love you all. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.